everybody, Rich Lang with Prep U down here near the bunker with Wednesday's tip of the week. How many of you know exactly what to do if you're stuck in your car and get caught in the middle of looters or rioting going on? It's kind of an important point. Recently we've seen some issues with rioters and looters coming out of some of the very important protests that have been happening in America, and rightful protests, good protests. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about people that have joined the protesters for whatever reason to cause harm to others, possibly you, and property and vehicles. And that's what we're going to talk about. So how many of you know what you should do? You're in a city, you don't know where you're at, your GPS isn't working, you happen to turn down a road, others are following you, you're in the middle of the road, and all of a sudden you see ahead of you a very angry mob destroying things as they walk. Can't back up. There's a whole bunch of cars behind you, they're trying to back up, they can't back up. But that's the first thing you should look at. You should see if you can back up and get out of there the way that you came. But if you can't, what do? Let's go over some of the points of what you really need to do to keep yourself safe. Number one, if you're alone, that's pretty easy. You only have to worry about you. But if you've got co-workers or your wife and kids with you, it's a totally another story. What you need to do is make sure you roll the windows up, have all those people get down on by the floorboards, the floor of the car. They don't need to be watching what's going on. Other people don't need to see how many people you have in the car. They need to be safe. They need to get themselves down and cover their heads up with their arms, just in case there's glass breakers, just in case there's projectiles going into the car. At least they'll be safe. It's your job to get them to safety. Never, ever stop your vehicle. Never. And never get out of your vehicle. People who stop their vehicle and get out more likely will be seriously injured or killed. You stay in your vehicle, you lock the doors. You start moving forward. You can't move back, you've got to move forward. And I'm not saying fast. I'm saying 5 miles an hour or slower. Let's face it, you're not going to ram these protesters. Excuse me, I take that back. You're not going to ram these looters and rioters. You're just not going to do it. You're going to go slow. People are going to get out of your way. Sure, they may jump on top of your car. They may beat on your car and everything. But no one wants to die by being run over by a car. They will get out of your way. All right, but let's say that they try to get you out. Let's say they start breaking the windows of your car. That's when you really need to make sure that you have your concealed carry weapon with you, or your legal constitutional carry weapon with you. I would even suggest that as you approach that crowd, or before you start approaching it, you pull your weapon, you put it in your lap or off to the side. Because I will guarantee you, pretty much most people, once they see the business end of your firearm, they're going to think twice about getting in your car and getting out. But there's also a reality here too. You don't know who you've run into. You don't know who they are. You may have to use that weapon. You have to think about that. When you pull your weapon, like my father always told me when I was a very young child, he was a police officer, he said, you do not pull your weapon unless you are deciding to use it. Now, by pulling your weapon out of your holster or out of your bag, you're not intending to use it. It's a tool of choice that you have that you can use if you need to use that. You know, sure, they might do damage to your car, but you do not stop. You keep going. If you have to go around barricades. If you have to go up on the curbs, go up on the curbs. Just keep going straight and get away from it as fast as you can. That's really all you can do. Don't get out of your car. Roll your windows up. Have your passengers get down and protect themselves. Keep moving. Have your firearm ready or something ready, if it's a knife or whatever. But you keep moving. You never get out of your car. Don't let them in your car either. But there's also, these tactics can also be used in other situations. Let's talk about some of those. For a long time, there's been the insurance scheme or car theft scheme where they'll run into the back of you. You want to also be aware of your surroundings. See who it is. It's coming out. You know, who's coming out after you or whatever out of the car that hit you. Also, another scenario would be if you're just driving down the road and you hit somebody. It could be a child. It could be an older adult. It could be anybody. You should stop and see what happens, but you also have to be careful about the situation that's going on. It can get ugly very, very quickly, or you get into an accident in an area you don't know, a dark lit area. And if you can still drive away. But as you're driving away, take note of where you are, call PD, tell them what happened, and get to a safe location. You don't want to be caught in the middle of something where, and it's happened before, where somebody has hit a child or an adult in an area and they don't know you and they are very, very mad, and people have been actually killed. So get to a safe area in those situations. Also, something else that I see all the time that people do wrong when they're driving in their car, when they come to a stoplight, especially stoplight, they get too close to the car ahead of them. Don't get any closer than, you know, you need an out, go around. And that could be for any reason you need an out. You want to be able to see where their tires hit the road. That's going to give you enough room to get out and around them if you need to. They could stall and you could be stuck there. There could be somebody following you or somebody pinning you in to the car in front, and the car in back may pin you in for whatever reason. They might want to carjack you. They might want to rob you. Always leave a way out. You should also be looking on the side of your road. Never get stuck in that middle lane between a left turn and the right lane, that center lane. You've got no way out. There's a reason to always be aware of your surroundings to see if people are following you. But these are just simple rules to keep you safe, keep your passengers safe, and keep you alive. Don't worry about the damage to your car. Just get out of there, be safe, and live another day. So that's it. That's your tip of the week. How to survive being in your car when you're surrounded by rioters and looters, or people that want to carjack you, or in an instance where you cause damage or bodily injury to somebody else and you know it's not a safe area to stay for you. So that's it for this week. We'll see you again next week, every Wednesday, a tip of the week. This is Rich Lang with Prep You. Don't forget, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Ring that bell if you want to know about our videos right off the bat. And be aware of your surroundings. Prep for at least 72 hours and beyond. It's good to go up to a month, really, to have all supplies. And prep like your life depends on it, because we all know that your life really depends on it. Thank you very much. Take care.